So if you guys have been playing Once Human, you'll have seen the new meta for PvP, the Savior build. Roll around with your T and Mini Wonder and you have 3 lives. With the desync, it's very broken and I hope they nerf the drink effect. But the Savior set is very powerful for PvP and even PvE, and I'll show you why. So we're going to go over the build for the Savior set, including the deviant and the buffs to use to maximize this build. First I'll go over how to get these pieces of armor, and then I'm going to go over the mods, the deviant, the cradle perks, and food buffs. What's up metas, H.O.D here, and today we're talking about the Savior build. Smash a like and subscribe if you guys want to see more build videos. Well, at the end of this season, you'll realize that everybody is rocking a certain build, and that build is the Savior set. 4-piece of the Savior set. So the Savior set is really OP right now. With this set, you basically get 3 lives. And it's even great on PvE because it gives you so much survivability. So you want to get 4 pieces of the Savior set and 1 piece of the Falcon set for this build, plus whatever key piece you need. Savior set is so strong is because when you get to 3-piece, when your HP is below 30%, you automatically use the least potent activator in your backpack. So it automatically heals you when you're getting low, so you don't have to worry about it, and then that's going to proc again in 40 seconds. And so if you have some really good activators in your backpack, you're going to get some really good heals because it's the least potent activator in the backpack. So as long as you don't have any bad activators, if you've just got good ones, it's going to use the best one. Number 4, if we get the 4-piece, using an activator, movement speed plus 20 and all damage plus 20%. And you can cloak for 2 seconds. And there's also 20% damage reduction on the torso and limbs for 20 seconds after using an activator. So that's huge. You're getting 20% damage reduction. So I'm going to go over a few other things to help us make the most out of this. At this part in the season, obviously we're starting into hard now, but once you're back in your endgame in the next week, everyone's going to be rocking the Savior set. So make sure you pay attention and do the same. For my guns, for this build, I'm rocking the Wildfire and the Bingo. But I'm also going to show you guys how you can get the jaws to fit in with this build too. So it's very versatile. And it'll also work with this new meta that's just come with Arthur Gaming dropping a video on the new freeze build where you can freeze people in place. So it will work with these two. So be aware, if you want to get the most out of it, you can put it with these new frost guns too. So basically there's a gambling event here that you can do, which gives you 3 pieces. You get the Savior pieces from this one here in the Roaming Hunter, and Roaming Hunter is in the new season, in the new hard mode. So what you actually want to do is you want to roll this to get these 3 pieces. So you've basically, when you do the wish machine, if you go blueprint shop, you don't actually want to buy it through the blueprint shop this way by buying all the separate pieces. What you actually want to do is to get this, we want to go, and I've already done it, that's where I got my set from. You want to actually go and go across to Roaming Hunter. If you're on a server that's just started on a hard mode, you might not have access to this, so this is something to be aware of before you transfer as well. And what you want to do is roll this until you've got 20 out of 20, and you'll basically get like all of you could basically get 3 pieces of the Savior set at that point. 3-piece Savior and the boots, because the boots are the guaranteed at the end. And what you'll find is you'll get a lot of extra blueprint fragments as well to use in your kit. So make sure you guys do this to get it, Roaming Hunter, or you can. Do be aware that you will have to buy 1 piece of Savior, and I would recommend buying the gloves because we don't want to take our boot slot, because we need the weak spot boots, and we don't want to take our chest slot in case you're using a Jaws and you'll need your chest spot free. So be aware of that, or the chest for the ice build. And obviously, to get the Renegade set, it's just the loot crates in treasures in the red sands. So mystic chests in the red sands for the Falcon set. So this is what it looks like. The 4-piece Savior, we've got the old Huntsman's boots because we're using weak spot. And the Falcon jacket for rolling stamina cost -20. Also, if you want to replace any of the other pieces with a key piece for whatever gun you're using, you can do that. And pretty much any gun's going to work with this build. And Vulture Top or any other key piece of armor that you need for your gun, feel free to do it. This build is based off a build from a good mate of mine, Fats, who's been rolling this, so I didn't come up with the complete build, by the way. And for the guns, we have the Wildfire and the Bingo, which are obviously really solid meta guns. The Wildfire is an amazing pistol. It has 60% chance to trigger the bullseye effect. And there's an 80% chance to spread it to one enemy within a 15-meter area. When hitting a weak spot of marked enemies, attack is up by 3% for 10 seconds and it stacks up to 3. So the Wildfire is really, really strong at the moment. And then obviously the Bingo works with it perfectly because it has a 70% chance to trigger bullseye. After switching to the weapon, the first hit triggers bullseye as well. So it grants weak spot damage plus 15 on hits for 10 seconds and it can stack for 3 times. And so these two guns are amazing. And you can get them again from the Wish machine, and you want to run the Bounty Hunter, and that's going to give you the Wildfire, and it's going to give you the bullseye, and it might even give you some extra fragments. So to get those guns, make sure you run the Bounty Hunter. Now we've covered the gear, let's cover the mods to put in it. So again, we're running weak spot. Our build is weak spot, so on the gun, I've got rapid shot, weak spot, and on my sniper, I've got rapid shot star, weak spot, and these are really good calibration attributes, 3 stars on each, so I'm hitting like a truck. And so that's why we can start to lean off on getting the damage mitigations from the gear itself. It doesn't matter so much once you get to the end game in Once Human. Okay, so on our Wildfire, I've got Hunter's Perk Precision for PvP. Now, this has weak spot damage, 7.2, and mag capacity. But the main thing here is marked enemies damage versus metas is -20%. So if you hit someone and mark them, they're actually going to do -20% to you. So you're going to become even tankier against them. This is a really good PvP mod. Now, if you're running PvE, I'll go over that build as well. You're going to add the vulnerability amplifier, because this is much better for PvE. So again, here I've got a great one with weak spot and magazine capacity. So I've actually got this on my sniper. These are the 2 mods you want to look at, depending on if you're going PvP or PvE. Again, even if you're doing PvE, you can actually get the recovery mark, which is really good too. So you can actually heal. So do be aware, there's a few mods you can choose from, but what I would recommend is especially this one here, the Hunter's Perk Precision, so that you can just be tankier against anyone you mark. And on our sniper, we've got vulnerability amplifier with extra mag capacity, so my sniper has 6 rounds in it. And we're basically mostly going off the attribute effects at this point, the mods. Now for the head mod, I got a God Roll, Precise Strike Precision. Hitting a weak spot grants weak spot damage plus 12% for 3 seconds, and it can stack for 3 times. Weak spot damage plus 9, weapon damage plus 2.4, weapon damage reduction plus 2.4, and max HP plus 3. This is a God Roll, and again, we're leaning into that HP buff, so it's really good to have the extra HP in this build, so you're extra tanky. And then on the mask, we've got Most Wanted Precision. Every time an enemy is marked, attack plus 5 for 8 seconds, and that can stack again. And on this one, I got Weak Spot plus 7 and Weapon Damage plus 2. So you can see here from the mods is where I'm getting my my damage output. So that's a great one. Again, if you get HP, that's probably preferential to weapon damage down the bottom, because you want to be as tanky as you can in this build and stack that HP. On our gloves, I'm using weak spot damage boost, obviously. Weak spot damage plus 25. Then I got weak spot damage plus 3 on there. And head damage reduction isn't bad for PvP, because it means when I get headshot, it will do a lot less damage. Now on the boots, we have covered advanced precision. So taking no damage within 4 seconds grants plus 20 melee weapon and status damage for 30 seconds. So if you don't take damage for 4 seconds, you get a crazy buff that lasts for 30 seconds. And again, I've got the HP and the weak spot on this mod, so covered advanced precision. There's going to be a link in the description for Doomris's mod Excel sheet where you can find where to get all these mods. So make sure you guys refer to that and go subscribe to Doomris because it's a great help. So for the jacket, I've got this mod here called Head Guard Precision. And when HP is above 70%, the head area is no longer a weak spot. And this is huge because it means people can't get huge damage procs on you if you're above 70%. It means instead of hitting red crit, they're going to hit white. It'll still proc the effect as if they've hit a weak spot, so it will still mark you. But this is huge. Head Guard Precision is a must for PvP. So weak spot damage plus 5.4 and max HP there. I believe the reload speed bonus is a bit nerfed at the moment, but this is a great mod for PvP for survivability. And then finally, we have 3 strikes for the first 3 hits after reloading, not exceeding 50% of the magazine. Weak spot damage plus 50, and we got HP on that too. So that's a great one there for the legs. Finally, the last part of our build is obviously the cradle. Because we're using handguns, we want handgun enhancement, and sniper, we want long range enhancement. We also want agility after rolling, weapon damage reduction plus 15, and status damage reduction plus 15 for 4 seconds. So you get damage reduction from that. Obviously we want cooldown on healing items, so we're going to use rapid aid, sprint, movement speed plus 5%, running stamina costs negative 15 because we're moving a lot with this build. Tactical combo, after we switch weapons, we get plus 25% weapon damage. And then brawl boost for PvP, negative 20 from metas. So if you hit that and you mark them, you're getting negative 40 with the pistol mod that we have. And then steady hand for that weak spot damage to the bullseye. So for our accessories, I'm using small compensator. This gives us accuracy, great accuracy increase. The accuracy is the firing spread angle, so I find that's a really good one. And stability is also good because we don't want high recoil, but that's what I've got. And then I've got the compact reflex sight, integrated laser sight, again just for that extra accuracy. And then we've got tactical pistol mag. And then we've been using tungsten AP ammo because we have a buff on our crafting table. On the sniper for accessories, we are using integrated muzzle, precision optic, and I've been lazy and haven't got my tactical SR mag, but we've just been using the amended sniper rifle mag and not copper ammo. Tungsten is what we want for that extra 15. Now let's go over the deviant for this build, and the deviant we are using is called the Mini Wonder, and this guy is amazing. So he absorbs bullets within a certain radius and automatically reloads the current weapons magazines from available reserves. So this guy basically gives you another life, the Mini Wonder does, when you whip him out. And that's why you'll see people sort of seeming like they don't take damage for a while, because this guy actually sucks them in. And it's really amazing in PvP. This is a must-have. And you can get this guy pretty easily, actually. Because all you need to do is make the grenades. You need to make the vortex generators. And then, basically, that'll give you a chance to get a Mini Wonder. So there's 2 ways to farm the Mini Wonder. One is to make a vortex generator, and when you craft these, it has a chance to proc a Mini Wonder. And you can also get a Mini Wonder from the low quest in Blackfell as well. So that's the most guaranteed way. So if you guys go across to Blackfell, and you'll see the blue quest with low above the stairs there, and that's where you can get your first Mini Wonder too. But if you want, you can roll some vortex generators, especially if your wipe has come to an end. Spend all your money on these. Now we're going to talk food buffs and deviant whims, and obviously the one that you really want And obviously for this build, we want to be maneuverable. So we're going to make the iced tea roll speed plus 25, movement speed plus 20 after rolling. So it means we can zoom around and it's harder for people to track us. Plus with the servers, the desync is really bad. So a lot of people are doing this. I'm not a fan of it. I hope it gets nerfed. But that's what people are using, is the iced tea currently. Now the other foods you're going to want to get is canned lunch meat. And you want to use deer for the deer gives you stamina plus 25, or rabbit for stamina plus 40. You want to use both of those and stack them for a big increase to your stamina bar. So then we've got this, and then we've got this. And so you can see there we've got 3/4 more of a stamina bar. And now for foods, the other food you'll finally want to use is, you can either use like assorted canned fruit. Obviously if you're using weak spot, it's a great one, weak spot damage plus 25%, or you can also use shellfish meat for hitting vulnerability on your enemies. And I was also playing around with like this one here, which was beast meat for max character HP by 10%. It wasn't seeming to work for me, but if you guys can get this to work, it'd be great. You can basically stack foods. The last food you get will be this icon above your right side here. So I think, yeah, we've actually got HP boost right now. And so let's check back and see what our HP is doing. Actually, it might have worked. Yeah, so that did work. I swear it didn't work last time, but it might have been because I already had it on. So those are the 3 foods you want: stamina, and then I actually would recommend like the beast meat food, because you get that 10% HP. And then for your drink, iced tea for the roll speeds, or you can also obviously use Stardust Energy drink for the passive heals if you've got the shell break specialization unlocked. And so I get passive heals when I use this. So those 2, but obviously the best one for this build, you want to be rolling all over the place, is the iced tea. So that's our foods. And now let's cover our deviant potions, deviant whims. We're going to use living armor. So when our HP gets below 20%, we recover 100% HP within 5 seconds. So this actually gives us sort of our 3rd life in this build. It only procs every 10 minutes though. Obviously also you want to use parapsychology, so you get awareness when people are looking at you. Predator, so that when you crouch, you go into stealth mode and your next attack deals 50% more weak spot damage. You also want to use featherweight for decrease to your load, and spring legs for extra jump height. And those are the deviant whims that I run. And also actually there's one that's not there, which is this one that I've been starting to use, which is the Weaver. And when you roll past somebody, it actually webs them in place. Now this doesn't always work, but when it does work, it's pretty great. And then also, if you guys want a bonus tip, use Utter Delight to get your deviant whims to last for 35% longer. So basically at the end of it, your build should look, let's pop all these like this. Some of these won't show up, but they will be working in the background. I'm kind of like a junkie in this, I swear. There we go, 200%. And that's our food buffs. So we've got Swift Sip for the rolling speed, and we've got max stamina plus 40, max stamina plus 25. Actually, that's new. I don't think that used to show up. So now we can see all our energy buffs too. HP plus 10. Again, if you use another food, it's not going to add that to this. It'll take over the HP boost there. So either have it as damage or have it as health. I recommend the health though for this build, because we're going for that survivability, because the rest of the build does the work for us. Special mention obviously to the PvP sandwich. There is a sandwich you can make that gives you negative 20%. So that is the build. Haven't got to test it as much as I would like, because my server has all switched to hard mode, but I actually built this last minute with my extra Starcrom and resources. so I could show you guys what to look for on the new servers and what to build into, so that you guys are ready for when the next phase opens. And do be aware again, you can use this savior set with any sort of guns that you want to at endgame. It's going to give you a big advantage. Obviously, there's a new developing meta with the frozen guns, it seems, so be aware of that. But that's the savior set. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, smash a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.